Hi, my name is Sam. I'm a postdoc from the LEI Institute, and I've been asked to present on my experiences with the Raine study and using the Raine study data. Now, my undergrad is in optometry, but I've been doing research since I graduated, starting as a research assistant and then a PhD 2 years later. Back then, I was only involved in small projects comprising a few dozen participants at most, and I would read epidemiological papers, the sample sizes of which obviously dwarfs my few dozen people. So I was quite envious of the resources that they have because such large studies are typically the ones that have the biggest scientific impact. In 2017, I started my postdoc with Professor David Mackey and working with the RAIN study. Now, working with the Raine study is like being part of the epidemiology cool kids club, where I have joined the ranks of large eye epidemiological studies. The most well-known ones in Australia included the Blue Mountains Eye Study and the Melbourne Visual Impairment Project. But the Raine study doesn't just have eye data. We have a myriad of multidisciplinary health data similar to the UK Biobank and the NHANES, although those are obviously much larger cohorts. Nonetheless, I think we can move ourselves higher up on this pyramid. And then again, none of those studies are multi-generational, and neither do they have prenatal data like we do for our Gen 2 participants. And yes, there are some studies that are multi-generational, like the LSPEC in the UK, or have prenatal data like the Generation R project in the Netherlands. But if you want a cohort study that has everything, multi-generational, multidisciplinary, and have prenatal data, the RAIN study really should be on the top of this Cool Kids Club. Now, most of my publications are from the Gen 2 cohort, and I've been directly involved in 5 papers that used only the eye data from the 20-year follow-up. But lucky for us, there are RAIN study events such as this one, which gave me the opportunity to network with researchers from other special interests groups. At other times, when I think of a new analysis that involves other disciplines, say C-reactive protein data, I can email the RAIN study staff asking who is the best person to contact, and they would link me up with the right people. And because of that, I managed to publish further papers either as the first or senior author. So don't be afraid to use the available resources and reach out for advice, either from the RAIN study staff or from your own peers and mentors, because such collaborations can give your career a huge boost. For instance, one of my papers published in 2019 on the association between sleep apnea and the eye in our Gen 2 cohort, this was highly successful. It inspired 4 further publications, including an invited review article. It was awarded a Strachan Memorial Prize, and we were interviewed on ABC Radio Perth, as well as invited to speak at international conferences. And all of this happened while I was busy with the Gen 2 28-year follow-up eye examinations, for which I had the opportunity to help coordinate. And this gave me a taste of the amount of hard work and logistics that go into running and coordinating the study. The 28-year follow-up concluded about 2.5 years ago, and we have published at least 3 papers using only the eye data, all of which were in the top 10% of ophthalmology journals. Perhaps the most notable one was published in JAMA Ophthalmology just earlier this year and already has a field-weighted citation impact of 21 and our matrix score of almost 300. It was featured in a small section in the Subiaco Post, and I was interviewed on a JAMA Ophthalmology podcast. Soon after that, the International Myopia Institute formed the Young Adult Myopia Task Force, which I was invited to be a member of. So there you go. One of you in the audience could very well form the next new subspecialty in your field. I hope that gave you an idea of where the RAIN study can take you and the collaborative opportunity. I would like to thank the RAIN study participants and their families. Really, those are the cool kids, not us. I have several other people to acknowledge, too many to name here, but those would include my co-authors from other SIGs, and I do look forward to working with people from the other special interest group. And finally, I thank all of you for listening.